What's up, guys? Welcome to First Impressions, where I give you my first impressions on recently released films. Today I'm going to give you my non-spoiler review of Halloween 2018. Let's kick this into high gear. I loved Halloween 2018. By far, to me, the best sequel since Halloween 4. I love Halloween 4, and I think every single movie after 4 just slowly dips in quality. Though H2O to me is a good Halloween movie, it doesn't really get interesting until the third act. But Halloween 2018, from the very beginning to the very end, I was sucked right into it. I ate up the story, I ate up the atmosphere, I ate up the suspense, I ate up the performances. All of it was almost perfect. I got some qualms with it here and there, but it will affect the grade because there are things that you just didn't need to be in this thing. And if you would have taken them out, it would have been a better movie and it would have been much better paced. But for the most part, the pacing of this movie is really fluid. It's a fluid pace. It never drags its feet. It never stuns its feet. It goes at a good pace. It tries to mimic the pacing of the first movie, which I can appreciate. But overall, let's talk performances. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. By far, this is Jamie Lee Curtis' best performance, not only as Laurie Strode, but as an actress. She was on fire. She brought her A game. Her playing Laurie Strode, suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, having that pretty much ruined her life, and the way Curtis played it, you felt so sorry for this woman, and you wanted her at the end to pretty much kick Myers' ass for pretty much ruining her life. Loved it. JLC, fantastic. Always loved her as an actress, and I always will. In this movie, she was exceptional. Even if this was not a Halloween movie and started us entirely, this performance deserves to be put on a pedestal. I dare say nominate her for a Best Actress. She was that goddamn good. Of course, you got other side performances that were great too. You have Will Patton, who was a really good character actor. He played the Deputy Hawkins, and I liked his character. I thought his character was really cool. I like how they tied him into the original movie as him being the on-call deputy to that night after Loomis had shot Michael. So I liked his little connection. And I also liked the hint of a relationship between him and Laurie. Not in a romantic sense, but in the sense of they've seen shit happen and they were there when it happened. So I liked all that stuff. The actor who played the new Loomis, I liked him for the most part. There is a subplot that happens at the beginning of the third act that will grab your interest. And it's something that played out even in the beginning of the movie. You gotta really pay attention to it. It's like a big hook for his character. And I was liking the direction that it was going in. I think it should have handled it maybe a little bit better, but it is what it is, and it was okay. It was okay for the most part. Judy Greer, who played Laurie Strode's daughter, I liked her a lot too. I liked how she's someone who is just trying to resist her mother. It's a broken relationship. And she's trying to live her life in a more meaningful way and not like Laurie in a more closed off way. And I like how Laurie's granddaughter feels more attached to Laurie than her own mother. And the way the actress who played Allison Strode, was able to balance those emotions, I thought she did a really good job as well. And she's pretty much played a modern day Laurie. But unlike Rob Zombie's Laurie, she's spunky, but not annoyingly spunky. She's like typical girl next door spunky who's not going to say or do dumb nonsense. However, Allison does have a subplot with her boyfriend that goes absolutely nowhere and has no payoff, and it's just filler, which is a damn shame because I would have liked to have seen that guy get his comeuppance by Mikey, especially when you find out what he does. So overall, those are my main highlights in terms of the actors. All the other actors, whether they were either I liked them or hated them, they all did a good job. However, I want to say one thing. There's this one kid named Julian who is hilarious. He has some really funny quips. He's another positive for me. The humor, for the most part, in this movie works pretty good. I mean, it does have moments where it's like you're dragging it a little bit, but for the most part, I got some chuckles out of it. But let's go on to the pièce de résistance. That is Jude Courtney as Michael Myers. Oh my God. Jude Courtney as Michael Myers was fantastic. Fantastic. You can tell that he studied Nick Castle's performance because it's literally like watching Nick Castle on screen, though James Jude Courtney brings a different element of his own. While Nick Castle's Michael was, not as ferocious and more calculating, this Michael is calculating, but he's also more ferocious. This is not... Nick Castle played Michael Myers as a 21-year-old in 78. James Jude Courtney is playing Michael as a 61-year-old who has battle scars from his fight with Laurie. So now he's pissed off. He is vicious. He is angry. He wants to finish the job. And Michael in this movie is more brutal than the Rob Zombie Michael, because the Michael in this movie is brutal, but he's brutal with finesse. His kills have meaning, even though they're random kills, but they have meaning. And it's being done because he's a man who is controlled by... We don't know if he's controlled by his impulses to kill. And a lot of the kills in this movie, movie has a lot of really good kills, and it has a lot of really good off-screen kills, which are even better than the on-screen kills. So, and the special effects and practical makeup look fantastic. I want to get that out of the way right now. So yeah, James Jude Courtney's Michael Myers, perfect. Love to see him come back. Cinematography in this movie looks beautiful. Has a nice little callback to the original Halloween in terms of cinematography. So I love that. The direction by Gordon Green was flawless. It's fantastic. The writing, like I said, McBride for the most part had a tight script. Though there were things in it I would have taken out, and I think would have had a better pace to the movie. Particularly the subplot with Allison and her boyfriend. I would have taken that out. There wasn't going to be any any tie-up for it. I would have wrote the Newell Loomis character a little differently, especially when you get to the third act and what he ends up doing. I would have given Hawkins a little bit more to do. Instead of making him a deputy, I would have made him more of a sheriff type character, because the sheriff in this movie doesn't really do anything. He's kind of useless, and I would have merged his character with the Hawkins character and just changed it up a little bit. So I just wanted to see more of Will Patton as Hawkins, because he was really becoming a very interesting character to me. Like, Chef Brackett was the skeptical. Hawkins is that go-to guy, the guy who knows what's happening and he wants to fight that fight. So I think it would have worked so much better if he was the sheriff. That is a qualm I got. And there's also another thing, like before the climax, you have these two cops who are talking about food and shit, and I told this to a friend of mine, cut 30 seconds off that scene and it would have flowed much better. But the climax to this movie is amazing. I'm not going to give nothing away, because you got to watch the climax. It oozes suspense, it oozes atmosphere. The music by John Carpenter all throughout was fantastic, and the music in the climax is used to perfection as well. And there's also a lot of scenes where there is no music. It's just tension and suspense written, and it works beautifully. So yeah, with all that said, I'm giving Halloween 9 out of 10. This movie was kick-ass. I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. Anyway, if you guys have seen Halloween 2018, let me know in the comment sections below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.